80,000. Got to make something happen fast.
And the action's going to be on, Bill. Let's take a look.
And he's looked down at King High. He's going all in with it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to push this right now.
Come on.
Nick Schulman says he's all in. Ace-Queen, which gets Tony out.
Well, Tony folds the 10-5. So here we go. It's Ace-Queen for Nick. It's King-8 for Bill Gazes. And Bill must win this pot to stay alive in this tournament.
By the way.
That's all smiles for Nick.
Well, it's also all smiles for Tony. He knows he can be a millionaire.
That's right.
Tony will become a poker millionaire if Nick Schulman can win this pot.
Could this be the demise of the great Bill Gazes? Bill was down to the short stack only about 6:30 before this hand started. Took a shot with King High. You can't blame him.
Well, he has 2 live cards.
Pull this back there.
So he's not as big an underdog as you might think. Can he get lucky, however, and win this pot? It seems like if there's any justice, Vince, that will happen. Remember the last time he played a huge pot. He had 2 aces. His opponent had King-10, and he lost the pot.
Ace-Queen against King-8.
All he's saying is, give me an outdraw one time.
Flop me a straight.
Sarcastically says, flop me a straight. That's what happened to him before when he had the 2 aces.
Here is the flop.
Well, the flop comes Ace-Jack 4. Nick has flopped a pair of aces.
Yes, he has.
Everything okay, Tony?
That means Bill Gazes must catch 2 runners to win this pot. Whether it's 2 running clubs, he'll make a flush, 2 running cards to make a straight, or 2 running cards of a king or an 8.
Oh, a hurtful flop there for Bill Gazes. He is in big trouble.
And here comes a turn card. He's going to have some help just to have a draw to stay alive. He doesn't get it. The 5 of hearts comes off. That's going to do it for Bill Gazes.
Do it right. Do it right. Take your time.
And Vince, who would have ever thought, with 5 players left, that the experience of Lyle Berman, Alan Cunningham, and Bill Gazes would go out into 5, 4, and 3 positions?
Well, experience doesn't mean quite as much anymore. In the poker world, anything can happen, and we're witnessing it right now.
Nick Schulman high-fiving his fans. They are excited, and why not? They're both millionaires. One's going to become a multi-millionaire.
Only 21 years old with about 5.1 million, up against the mattress king, Tony LaCastro, with about 2.7.
They are literally playing for over $1 million in cash. And look at this, Vince. Tony's got to push that money out of the way just so he can play poker here.
Over $2.1 million going to first place, and over $1 million for the runner-up. Action's going to be on Tony LaCastro. Looks down at Queen Jack. He says, I'm going all in with it.
Amazing. With blinds of just 80,000, he has moved all in for $2.7 million.
But Nick's got a big hand, too. He's got a pair of 4s. This could be over in one hand.
Can I get an exact count?
Now, pairs are very strong hands in heads-up play. But on the other hand, you like to be the better when you have the small pair. You hate to call your money off with them. Your opponent figures to have at least 2 overcards. Do you want to flip a coin for literally $1 million?
Well, he has the money to blow. He has twice as much as Tony LaCastro. Well, so even if he should lose, but he's not going to choose to do that.
Vince, if he played the pot and lost it, Tony would have a 2-1 chip lead over him.
That's true, but that's a big if. He wasn't heavily invested, and we can understand the laydown.
Now, Nick has had the lead ever since we started this final table. But you know something, Vince? I'll tell you what's going to make it tough for him.
Fold a pair to you, Tony.
Is the style of Tony LaCastro, which is the all-in bet. But Vince, when you're sitting over there and the big blind's only 80,000, your opponent bets $2.7 million. Oof, it's tough to play against that. Well, we've had 5 new millionaires on the World Poker Tour in season 4 here. These 2 guys, put them on the list. They're both going to become poker millionaires.
All right, back down on the table. It's going to be on Nick this time. He has the button. He's got ace-8 this time, offsuit.
All right.
Nick says, I'm going to raise.
2 total.
And he's going to make it 200,000 to go.
Yes, he is. And Tony, just like that, with his 10-4, says bye-bye.
Well, there you see the different styles of the players. Nick likes to make small raises, play after the flop. Tony, on the other hand, likes to go all in and just gamble for all his chips and hopes he can get lucky and win the pot. We've got a jabber versus a knockout puncher here. Who's going to come out on top?
Right now, Nick Schulman with an opportunity to become the youngest player on the World Poker Tour, join the likes of Howard Lederer, Hoyt Corkins, and Tuan Lee, who also won this great event at Foxwoods. Action's going to be on the so-called amateur player, Tony LaCastro. With the button, he looks down to the 9-4 offsuit. Cost him an additional $40,000 to make a call.
Let me guess.
Is he going to get fancy with this right now? No, he's not.
No, he's just going to give the hand up to his opponent.
And Nick is kind of happy because he just had 5 deuce. And he's saying, hey, that's a good thing when that happens.
No, it's not bad. He picks up 140,000 as a gift from his opponent.
You always feel good about those gifts when you had an absolutely nothing hand that you can't possibly call, and the other guy just gives it to you.
I'll tell you, so much pressure right now on these guys. Remember, every decision they make could be well over $1 million and a World Poker Tour title on the line.
All right. Action's going to be on the kid, Nick Schulman. He looks down at a 9-6 of spades.
That's the kind of hand you like to see a flop with. He's going to call, limp in, as we say, for another 40,000. And Tony says, okay, give us a flop. He has an 8 deuce offsuit. He's happy to get a free flop here.
So a couple of garbage hands. Here come the first 3.
Now flop is ace king 8 with 2 spades. Tony has flopped bottom pair. Nick has flopped a flush draw.
Yeah, he's 4 flushed. Tony quickly checking. And now Nick taking out some chips here.
That's 120.
Nick is going to bet 120,000.
He's coming out on the come, making the bet.
Raise.
Uh-oh.
Incredibly, Tony is raising with bottom pair here.
300,000.
He is going to put the pressure on Nick Schulman here.
Now, they used to call him all in Tony, but this time he only raises 180,000. Very interesting. Wants to make Nick believe maybe that he has an ace.
You would think he would raise before the flop if he had those cards. Nick's going to make the call here. He's going to see a card.
Well, he's going to try to catch lucky with his 4 flush. Tony's not going to like this.
Well, 780,000 in the pot right now.
Big pot developing. Here's the turn card, and look at this.
Oh.
Nick has hit the flush, but Tony's hit 2 pair, Mike.
This is an unbelievable card right here.
It's all in time.
Well, Tony went all in. He quickly got called by Nick.
He got out.
It's 2 pair versus a flush.
Has a flush.
Yeah.
What a card on the turn. It's the only card in the deck that could help both players.
Tony just did not believe this guy was 4 flushing or that he had a higher pair, and he needs some luck right now.
Good luck. Good luck to you.
He sure does. He must catch an 8 or a deuce. He's got to make a full house if he wants to stay alive in this tournament.
The Mattress King has walked into it. He needs extreme luck on the river.
He's got the flush.
Well, Vince, here's a case where you wonder if all-in Tony would have gone all in on his re-raise on the flop, if indeed Nick could have stood it with a 9-high flush draw. Nick Schulman just trying to dodge an 8 or a deuce here and become a multi-millionaire and a WPT champion. Let's see if he can do it.
21-year-old boy wonder, can his hand hold up?